Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire Bennett. I'm here to answer the private questions you don't always say out loud. Today we'll talk about the science of first impressions in dating, why the first few seconds can feel so powerful, what's actually happening in the brain and body when two people meet, and how to make a first impression that's attractive and authentic without turning dating into a performance. Let's start with something you've probably felt before. You meet someone and within moments you already have a sense of them, confident or unsure, warm or distant, safe or slightly off, interesting or forgettable, and they're doing the exact same thing to you. That can feel unfair, like people are judging too fast. But first impressions are not just shallow, they're a fast, ancient system your brain uses to answer one core question. Is this person safe and worth paying attention to? Of course, every individual is different, and context matters more than one single sign. But research-informed psychology suggests that humans form strong initial judgments quickly, and those judgments can influence everything that happens next: how open someone feels, how much they smile, how long they stay, whether they give you a second date, and even how they remember you later. Now here's the part most people get wrong. First impressions aren't only about looks. Looks matter, yes, especially for the first glance, but the impression you leave is a bundle of cues. Your posture, eye contact, facial expression, tone of voice, pace of speech, how you regulate nerves, how you take space, how you respond to small friction, and whether you create emotional ease. This is good news because it means you're not helpless. You don't need perfect genetics to make a strong first impression. You need understanding, preparation, and a few small behaviors that signal confidence and safety at the same time. So today we're going to break this into something practical. We'll cover what the brain is scanning for in the first moments, the biggest mistakes that quietly kill attraction early, and a simple framework you can use to walk into a date and instantly feel more grounded. No manipulation, no games, just psychology and human behavior. Let's set the problem. Many men think first impressions are about being impressive, having the right outfit, saying the right lines, being funny on command, sounding alpha, or acting mysterious. But trying to impress often creates the opposite effect. You look tense, you overtalk, you overexplain, you ask too many questions like an interview, or you perform instead of connect. And if there's one thing people can feel instantly, it's when someone is trying to manage their perception. So the real goal of a first impression is not wow her. The real goal is to create two experiences: comfort and curiosity. Comfort makes her relax. Curiosity makes her lean in. Now let's get into the psychology. The brain has a fast pathway that makes quick evaluations based on limited information. It's not logic. It's pattern recognition. It's scanning for cues like threat or safety, dominance or submission, warmth or coldness, competence or chaos. Some of this is evolutionary. Your nervous system is basically doing a rapid risk assessment. You can think of it like this. In the first moments, her brain is silently asking, is he safe? Is he stable? Does he respect boundaries? Does he have social awareness? Does he seem confident without being aggressive? Would being close to him feel pleasant or stressful? When you understand that, you realize why some things matter so much early. A calm voice matters because it signals regulation. A relaxed smile matters because it signals friendliness. Clean grooming matters because it signals health and self-respect. Good pacing matters because it signals you're not desperate. And small acts of social intelligence, like listening, reading the room, and not dominating the interaction, matter because they signal emotional maturity. Now I'm going to give you the first impression model I like to use. Think of it as S.E.E.N, safety, ease, energy, narrative. In the first 5 minutes, your job is to communicate 4 things: that you're safe to be around, that you're easy to interact with, that you have positive energy, and that there's a story behind you that makes her curious. Let's break down each one. S is safety. Safety doesn't mean boring. It means you don't give off pressure. You're not rushing intimacy. You're not invading personal space. You're not making sexual comments too early. You're not testing her. Your body language is open. Your tone is steady. And you handle small, awkward moments without panic. Safety is communicated in micro cues: a friendly greeting, a respectful distance, a warm eye contact that doesn't stare, and a calm, grounded voice. One of the biggest first date killers is nervous energy that leaks as pressure. You can be nervous, that's human. But when nervousness turns into rapid talking, constant jokes, constant approval seeking, or forcing the vibe, she feels pressure. And pressure makes the nervous system close. Safety makes it open. E is ease. Ease is the feeling of this is simple. People fall for ease because it feels like compatibility. Ease is created when you're not trying too hard and you're not making her carry the conversation alone. You're present, responsive, and relaxed. You don't overthink every second. You don't turn the date into a job interview. You don't fill every silence with noise. You allow pauses. You breathe. You let moments happen. Here's a small but powerful tip. Slow down your transitions. Many men rush from topic to topic because they're afraid the conversation will die. But real ease is when you can stay with a topic and go one level deeper. Instead of, what do you do? Where are you from? What music do you like? You pick one thing and explore it. What do you like most about that? How did you get into that? What's the best part and the hardest part? That creates flow. Flow feels like chemistry. E is energy. Your energy is your emotional weather. Are you heavy, anxious, and tense, or light, calm, and grounded? Energy doesn't mean being loud, it means being emotionally alive, smiling naturally, using humor without trying to perform, showing genuine interest, and sharing moments of enthusiasm. Energy is also shown in your posture and movement. If you slouch, look down, and speak quietly, you might be kind, but your energy reads low. If you're stiff and intense, your energy reads threatening. The sweet spot is relaxed confidence, shoulders open, voice clear, pace steady, presence warm. N is narrative. Narrative is what makes her curious. People don't only fall for traits, they fall for stories. How you think, what you value, what you're building, what shaped you. You don't need a dramatic life story. You need a few human details that make you memorable. A narrative is as simple as, I used to be really shy, and I learned to enjoy conversations by focusing on curiosity instead of proving myself. Or, I'm the kind of person who needs a routine because it keeps me grounded. Or, I love learning new skills. It's how I stay sharp. That's narrative. It reveals identity. Identity creates curiosity. Now let's talk about the most common first impression mistakes, because avoiding mistakes is often more powerful than trying to be impressive. Mistake 1, trying to win approval. This shows up as over-complimenting, over-agreeing, constantly checking if she's okay, or changing yourself mid-conversation. Approval seeking is a subtle form of pressure because it makes her feel responsible for your self-esteem. A healthier mindset is, I'm here to see if we match. That creates balance. Mistake 2, over-talking and under-listening. Many men talk too much because they think they need to prove value, but value is felt through presence, not through a resume speech. If you talk nonstop, she can't feel you. She only hears you. Aim for a rhythm, share, then invite her in. Tell a short story, then ask her perspective. Make a point, then pause. Mistake 3, interview mode. Asking questions is good. Asking endless questions without sharing yourself makes the date feel like an interrogation. Attraction grows through mutual reveal. Think of it as a tennis match, not a quiz. Mistake 4, rushing intimacy. Sexual jokes too early, oversharing too fast, deep confessions on date 1, or acting like you're already in a relationship. It can feel intense, but intensity is not intimacy. Intimacy requires trust. Trust takes time. Mistake 5, poor boundaries with time and attention. If you cancel your plans instantly for her or become overly available, you can unintentionally signal low self-respect. On the other side, acting overly distant to seem high value can feel like a game. Balanced is best. You're interested, but you're not desperate. Now let's go into practical science-backed levers you can actually control. First lever, appearance cues that signal self-respect. This isn't about being a model. It's about clean grooming, clothes that fit, and a look that says, I care. People interpret these cues as conscientiousness and competence. You don't need expensive clothing. You need intentionality, clean shoes, well-fitted top, simple style, fresh breath, neat hair. These cues remove distractions and let your personality come through. Second lever, body language. Your body speaks before your words. Open chest, relaxed shoulders, stable stance, gentle eye contact, and a calm smile signal confidence and safety. One of the best tips is to anchor your feet and slow your movements. People trust calm. Also, avoid fidgeting with your phone or scanning the room. It signals anxiety or low interest. Third lever, voice and pacing. A steady voice is one of the strongest cues of emotional regulation. Speak slightly slower than you think you should. Use pauses. Let your sentences land. When you slow down, you look confident even if you're nervous. Fourth lever, emotional attunement. This is a big one. First impressions are heavily shaped by how you make her feel emotionally. You don't do that by impressing. You do it by reading and responding. If she's shy, soften your energy and ask gentle questions. If she's energetic, match her pace. If she's quiet, don't panic. Create safety and let silence be okay. Emotional attunement communicates, I can handle you as you are. That creates comfort. Fifth lever, micro connection moments. These are small moments that create chemistry quickly. A shared laugh, a genuine compliment that's about her as a person, a short story that reveals your values, or a moment of vulnerability that's clean and not heavy. Example, I get a little nervous meeting someone new, but I'm enjoying this. That's honest and calm. It creates connection because it's human. Now let's talk about the first 5 minutes step by step, because many people want a script, but the best script is really a structure. Step 1, the greeting. Smile, eye contact, and a simple line. Hey, it's really nice to meet you. Keep your tone warm and your volume clear. If you go for a hug, keep it light and read her body language. If you're unsure, don't force it. A respectful greeting communicates safety instantly. Step 2, the transition. Walk together calmly. Don't rush. Don't start interrogating immediately. Use a simple opener that creates ease. How was your day? Or how's your week been? Then listen like you actually care. That's rare, and it stands out. Step 3, the first topic. Choose something light but personal. What's been keeping you busy lately? Or what's something you've been enjoying recently? These questions invite emotion without going deep too fast. Step 4, the first spark moment. Add a small playful moment or a specific compliment. I like your energy, it's calm, or you're easy to talk to. Keep it honest, don't overdo it. One quality line beats 10 generic ones. Step 5, the first identity reveal. Share a small story that shows who you are. I'm the kind of person who needs a routine. If I don't train or work on something, I feel off. That creates narrative and curiosity. Now let's talk about halo effect, because this is part of the science of first impressions. The halo effect is the tendency to let one positive trait influence how we judge other traits. If you look well put together, people assume you're more competent. If you're confident, people assume you're more capable. If you're warm, people assume you're safer. That doesn't mean it's fair, it means it's human. The good news is you can create a positive halo without being perfect. Clean grooming plus calm presence plus respectful behavior creates a strong halo. But there's also a horn effect, where one negative cue colors everything. Bad breath, arrogance, rude behavior towards staff, interrupting, or dismissiveness can destroy the impression fast. So a major rule is, don't do anything that triggers the horn effect. Kindness to service staff is not just morality, it's a powerful signal of character. People watch it. Now let's address something a lot of people worry about. What if I'm not naturally charismatic? Charisma is not magic. A huge part of charisma is emotional regulation plus attention. You can build it. You become more charismatic when you're less inside your head and more tuned into the moment. So the practice is not say perfect lines. The practice is be present. Here's a very practical exercise. Before your date, take 60 seconds to breathe slowly and relax your shoulders. Then set one intention. I'm here to be curious and to see if we match. That single intention reduces pressure and makes your nervous system calmer. A calm nervous system reads as confidence. Now let's talk about what women often read in first impressions. Again, this doesn't apply to every woman, but many are scanning for safety, emotional stability, respect, consistency, and self-respect. They notice if you push boundaries. They notice if you talk over them. They notice if you're resentful. They notice if you're performing. And they also notice if you're kind, grounded, and confident without arrogance. So what do you do if the date starts awkward? Here's where emotional strength becomes a first impression superpower. If it's awkward, name it lightly, not dramatically. You can smile and say, "First few minutes are always a little awkward, right?" Then laugh gently. That reduces tension. People trust someone who can handle awkwardness without panic. What if you make a mistake? Same. Own it with calm humor. "That came out weird. What I meant was..." Owning small mistakes is attractive because it signals self-security. Insecurity hides. Confidence can admit a tiny slip. Now let's talk about how first impressions can be corrected. People say first impressions last forever, but they don't always. They're sticky, not permanent. If your first impression wasn't great because you were nervous, you can shift it by becoming more relaxed over time, showing consistency, and creating positive emotional experiences. That's why a second date can feel completely different. So don't catastrophize one awkward moment. Look for patterns, not one instant. Now I want to give you a first date checklist, but not in a robotic way. Think of it as anchors. Anchor 1, arrive slightly early. Rushing creates anxiety, and anxiety shows. Anchor 2, clean grooming and fitted clothes. Remove distractions. Anchor 3, phone away. Attention is attractive. Anchor 4, slow down your speech. Calm reads as confident. Anchor 5, 2 good questions and 2 good stories. Don't interview, exchange. Anchor 6, 1 boundary of self-respect. Don't overextend or overcommit. Anchor 7, end the date cleanly. If you enjoyed it, say so. "I had a great time. I'd like to see you again." If you didn't, be polite and don't lead her on. Now let's talk about how to end the first date, because endings create strong memory. The brain remembers peaks and endings more than the middle. If you end the date with calm clarity, it leaves a clean impression. So avoid the messy end where you suddenly become uncertain or overly intense. A simple close is powerful. "I enjoyed this. Let's do it again. I'll text you tomorrow." Or, if you're not feeling it, "It was nice meeting you. Thanks for coming out." Clean, respectful. So what's the takeaway from the science of first impressions in dating? First impressions are fast because the brain is built for rapid assessment. Looks matter, but they're only one part of the cue bundle. What really shapes attraction early is the emotional experience you create, comfort and curiosity. If you want a strong first impression, focus on 4 things: safety, ease, energy, and narrative. Be calm, be warm, be present, and share just enough of yourself to be memorable. And remember this, you don't need to be perfect to be attractive. You need to be grounded. You need to be authentic. You need to be respectful. The goal isn't to win someone over in 5 minutes. The goal is to create a first experience that makes her think, "I'd like to know more." And that's all for today's episode. Thank you for taking the time to listen all the way to the end. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who might need to hear this. I'll see you again in the next episode.